Hey, this is Lewie Pugh, the Executive Vice President of the Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association. Wanted to shoot a quick video today, talk to you real quick, because once again, last Friday, Representative Matt Cartwright from Pennsylvania did not let an opportunity go by to show his disdain for the American trucking industry. Here's a few of the comments that we saw from him last Friday on the House floor.
Pennsylvania has about 300 miles of Interstate 80, and it's a highway that spans the entire length, the entire width of Pennsylvania. It looks like a belt going across the midsection of Pennsylvania. Here's the thing about Interstate 80. It doesn't serve any major Pennsylvania cities. It doesn't help any Pennsylvania commuters get in and out of Pennsylvania cities. I-80 was designed and built for the sole purpose of driving into, getting across, and getting back out of Pennsylvania as soon as possible. It is basically a road for non-Pennsylvanians.
So as you can see, Representative Cartwright is talking about tolls on Interstate 80, which are, as we all know, taxes. And yes, you are correct. There's nearly 300 miles of road. There's actually 311 miles of highway of Interstate 80, which I myself personally have driven across a zillion times, it feels like. I have made a good living going across Pennsylvania on Interstate 80 in a truck. But let's not forget, Representative, there may not be any major municipalities on Interstate 80 across Pennsylvania, but boy, there's a lot of little small towns that count on that road to keep them a thriving community. You got Clearfield, you have Cuylertown, Stroudsburg, Snowshoe, there's just town after town, Du Bois, all these little towns. Plus, Interstate 80 connects a lot of little towns north and south of Interstate 80, where there's factories and chemical plants and steel mills and stamping plants and paper mills. And how do you think all this stuff gets in and out of Pennsylvania to these little towns and back? On Interstate 80. And why do they thrive? Because Interstate 80 is not a toll road.
First, of those 24,000 vehicles a day on that road, a clear majority of those are out-of-state tractor trailers, 80,000-pound rigs that pound and punish the roadway. So in a year, we're looking at 4.5 million out-of-state trucks a year beating up our road. We see those rigs all over the road. We see their out-of-state license plates. So if you've driven on it, you know this road takes a real beating. And the result of that, it's constantly under construction and repair every year, every summer. We see that. Somebody needs to pay for that.
What can you say to that but wow? Well, let me tell you something, Representative Cartwright. I, like a lot of truckers, have lots of experience going across all of Interstate 80, not just the part that runs through your district. And you are correct, there are lots of out-of-state trucks and stuff. But where you're wrong is the small town people and the local people there, they do use Interstate 80 to commute to work because they don't live in a major metropolitan. They probably drive 30 or 40 miles to get to work, and they use Interstate 80. And let's talk about these out-of-state trucks. I was an out-of-state truck every time I drove across there. But let me tell you, I delivered at a lot of places in Pennsylvania, whether it was around the Pittsburgh area or up in the Clearfield area or clear up in northern Pennsylvania, Warren, all these places. I would deliver out to the East Coast, to New York, New Jersey, but guess what? I also went to Philly, I went to Langhorne, Jim Thorpe, all these towns, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Mahoopany. I delivered all these places. And you know what? I used Interstate 80 to get there. It's absurd to believe that only Pennsylvania trucks, which there's a lot of Pennsylvania trucking companies on Interstate 80 that wouldn't be wanting tolls either. It's absurd to think that only Pennsylvania trucks deliver or pick up within the state of Pennsylvania. I picked up millions of pounds of freight and delivered within the state of Pennsylvania, and both picking up and delivering. And oh, by the way, Representative, those out-of-state trucks that you're complaining about that travel through your state and don't pay anything, they're just using Pennsylvania per se, guess what? They do pay. They pay for every single solitary mile they drive across there in IFTA. They also pay pay a percentage of their IRP. Me personally, my plates were higher because I had so many miles in Pennsylvania because of the IRP. So they do pay. And guess what? They buy fuel, they buy food, they may stay in a hotel, they buy goods, services, oil changes, parts, all kinds of things. Those out-of-state trucks who are just using your state and not paying anything pay. So maybe you should do a little more research before you start saying these things.
And the third thing I want to tell you about Interstate 80 is this road does have a toll plaza on it. And it's on the eastern end. It's on the New Jersey end at the Delaware Water Gap for the westbound lanes only. There's no other toll plaza anywhere else on Interstate 80 in Pennsylvania, not anywhere along its 300 miles, not certainly where we might want to put a toll plaza on the eastbound lanes near the Ohio border. So listen to what I'm telling you. The majority of traffic on I-80 is out-of-state tractor trailers just passing through, not contributing anything to Pennsylvania except exhaust fumes, cracks in our pavement, and the occasional catastrophic truck crash.
And of course, Congressman Cartwright, you would never let the opportunity go by about bringing up something about catastrophic truck accidents. Why? Because we know that's near and dear to your heart, because you're constantly trying to get truck insurance minimums raised. Why? Because your family's plaintiff's attorneys and you all make a living suing truckers. And you know, go back to your statement about putting up the toll booth in Pennsylvania over by Ohio. Let me tell you what, there's a lot of freeways that you can get around on that and not have to pay that toll. And guys will find that. So again, you're going to take trucks and put them on other roads where they don't need to be when you've already got Interstate 80 built and it's built for these trucks. And you're going to kill all these little towns with your type of attitude.
We already have a toll plaza on the New Jersey side. I'm saying that at some point we might want to consider a toll plaza on the Ohio side of Pennsylvania for that road. So this gentleman's one-size-fits-all amendment would prohibit that.
Well, after watching all that, I think we can all agree that Representative Rentschenthaler, who introduced this bill to not allow this tolling and expand tolling in Pennsylvania, did do his homework, did understand how things work in Pennsylvania, how transportation, and it gets basic economics. And it's a shame that Representative Cartwright, again, is voting against truckers, and he voted no against this, and then calls his fellow congressman out and acts like he doesn't know what he's talking about. When we as truckers who make a living on Interstate 80, and a lot of us who make a living hauling in and out of the state of Pennsylvania, realize how wrong Congressman Matt Cartwright is once again. Again, I can't say enough how important this road is, not only to the American trucker, but to all the small towns and small businesses across that highway. I think with the attack on trucking and what we're seeing on this just shows that tolls are taxes. He'd rather toll the road, take truckers out, and he's not a friend of truckers. He's not even a friend of small business in Pennsylvania. And we all know where he stands on insurance minimums. Let's raise those as well. So 2 thumbs down for Representative Cartwright. Thank you on behalf of myself and everyone here at OOIDA for what you do, and be safe, and don't be afraid to pick up the phone and give your congressman a call. And hey, maybe call Congressman Cartwright's office too and tell him what you think. Thank you. Have a great day.